Good morning. Thank you for joining Anna this morning.
You're welcome.
Just to give a bit of background on our project so far, we're mid-implementation, aren't we? And Anna is the project lead. The implementation began in January with a plan to go live in July, ready for your new academic year beginning in August. So I've got a few questions I'd like to ask you, if that's okay.
Of course, that's why I'm here.
So why did you start looking for a new MIS?
So we were in a position that I think a lot of independent schools in Scotland found themselves in that we didn't have that many options when it came to MIS systems, because with the Scottish Qualifications Authority, there weren't that many systems that could kind of cope with that data that had been set up to kind of manage it. And so we had for many years been using a system that was really the only option for us. But because of the kind of limitations of it, we then had sort of branched out, and we were also using a kind of in-house database as well for other processes that platform didn't do in the way that we needed it to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we were kind of, our processes kind of grew into lots of different systems because of the limitations of the MIS that we were using. And then a couple of years ago, we suddenly realised that there were more options in the market in Scotland. And so we decided to start going through the process that lots of other independent schools here have gone through or are currently going through, at looking at those other options and just seeing if they were going to be better for us. The big driver for me, really, I've been in this role about 18 months now, and the big driver for me was to streamline what we were doing in school, because when I joined the school, I found it quite confusing about, you went to this system to do this bit, you went to another system to do other bits. There was a cloud version of it, there was a kind of in-house version of it, and I just kind of found it a little bit bamboozling, and I think everyone else did too. So that was really what prompted us to go out and look at the other options that were out there.
Brilliant. Were there any concerns you had about changing your MIS?
I mean, yeah, there were loads of concerns because it's a pretty big project. And I think one of the main things, as I said before, that we really wanted to address was this streamlining, and we didn't want to end up with another product that didn't quite do everything that we wanted to do. So we were going to have to branch off and in a few years' time end up in exactly the same position that we had been in previously. So that was a concern. I think the other concern was about the scale of the project, not really just in terms of the data migration. That part is kind of the first step. It's the full adoption and implementation of it in-house, and the amount of change that people are going to have to go through to understand the new systems that have really been the biggest concerns, I think, for us in terms of changing. But in many ways, we knew that we wanted to change. It was a kind of foregone conclusion that we were probably going to move away from the previous provider. It was just about getting the best option, I think.
Yeah. And so does iSAMS solve any requirements which your previous MIS didn't?
Yeah, I mean, it's the big one that it solves for us is the fact that it's cloud-based. I mean, throughout lockdown and working from home, the difficulties with having lots and lots of staff on a school-based server were enormous. And so that the ability to do things through apps on iPads, we're a one-to-one iPad school for staff and pupils. So the app side of things makes things incredible, because there's full functionality, and all the key things can be done by staff on their iPads, on that mobile device that they're taking around with them. But also, just I think moving forward, because of the pandemic, I think we will have more staff who are choosing to work from home at times if they can. And the fact that everything is accessible through the cloud and that it will integrate properly with a lot of our other products really will solve a lot of those kind of headaches that we've encountered in the last year. So not all of them, can't solve everything, but
no.
Yeah,
but helps.
Definitely helps.
So what's your experience so far with your migration to iSAMS?
Well, I mean, as you said, we're kind of right in the thick of it now. We started in January. And my experience so far has been great. I mean, we have regular contact, regular calls, and I do feel, as kind of Kelly was saying, that we're hugged through the process. I feel quite supported. You know, and it's not just yourself. There's a team of people who are helping us, and it's not just me at our end either. You know, and I think we've got really good communication when we have those calls every couple of weeks. There's very clear decisions that need to be made, discussions that need to be had. And I feel like there's a really great momentum with this project. I'm not kind of thinking, oh, it seems like that's a bit on the back burner, what's happening. I'm never worried that we're not making progress because of the regular contact.
Great.
And it is, you know, there's a lot going on, a lot of data. We're having to do a lot of cleansing at our end as well. But I do feel that we'll get there, and I'm confident about the training as well. The fact that we've got all of those dates booked in now for that implementation, that's a huge peace of mind for me as well, that I know that there are certain points that I can start telling people this is coming and that they need to be aware of things, you know. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's been really, really positive.
Oh, good. Thank you. So could you give any tips to schools who are considering migrating to a new MIS?
I mean, I think, again, Kelly covered off loads of great stuff in her top tips, but I think from my point of view, first of all, I would say take it as an opportunity to kind of interrogate the current processes that you have in your school. I mean, we're a school that's been around for quite a long time and is fairly traditional and, dare I say it, paper-based in many processes. And so we're using this as an opportunity to really look at how we do things and not necessarily refine them just to fit into iSAMS, but refine them because they probably need refined anyway. And so that the iSAMS part and the data migration is great, and I'm very supported through that, but we are taking it as an opportunity to make it really a wider project within the school and try and improve our efficiency and streamlining and just question, you know, are we doing things this way because we've always done it this way, and are there better ways that we can be doing things? And I think with that in mind, just treating it as a full change management project, because for a lot of our administration and support staff, the MIS is their bread and butter. It's where they're going every day to pull information, to get contact details, to communicate with people and access data, and really getting them on board and making sure that they're aware at key points of the process that this is coming, so that they don't just come back in August after summer holiday and go, what, everything's changed, what's going on? Because you need people with you. You know, you need people to be ready for it. And I think that we've tried really, really hard to do that, to the point where I have people coming to me saying, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's the new system coming? Which is great, because I want them to have a total awareness of it. I want them to be ready, I want them to be prepared, rather than just, surprise, new system.
And to be happy about it as well, to be engaged with it as well. Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, thank you for answering my questions, and thanks so much.
You're very welcome.